Okie doke. Today we are expanding on what we did yesterday. Instead of graphing from a point given and using just the slope, we're actually going to use the entire linear equation. So just a few things to remember. First, this is page 61 in our binders. We always run to the right first. If the slope is positive, then we rise up. But if the slope is negative, then you rise down. Okay, if y is equal to a constant, that means that the slope was 0, so you're going to draw a horizontal line. Because the slope was 0. Now, just a friendly reminder, linear equations look like y equals mx plus b, and m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. B tells us where to begin. So I'm looking here and I see y equals mx plus b. 3 is m, which means 3 is my slope. And the y-intercept, remember to use the sign in front of that as well. The y-intercept is the plane number there. B is -2, so the y-intercept is -2. Looking here, the slope is the letter m, that's the number in front of x, which is -1/2. And the y-intercept is the plane number. Include the sign in front of it. The y-intercept then is 3. Okay. Just friendly reminder on which one is the slope and which one is the y-intercept. Now look at example number 1. The slope, m, is -4/3. And the y-intercept is -1. B is -1. B tells us where to begin. We're going to begin at the y-intercept. So remember, that's on the y-axis. We need to find -1 on the y-axis, which is right here. So I found where I'm supposed to begin. And now we're just going to do exactly what we did yesterday. We're going to use our slope to find all of the other points on this line. Remember, we always run to the right first. So we're going to run 3 times to the right. Because this is negative, we're going to go down 4 times. Because this is negative, we rise down. So from this point, you go to the right 3 times, and then down 4 times. To the right 3 times takes us off the graph. So we go back to the y-intercept where we began. And we're going to do the opposite. Instead of going to the right 3 and down 4, we're going to go to the left 3 and up 4. Left 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can trace those, connect those dots, and that would create the linear equation y equals -4/3 x minus 1. Looking at example number 2, the slope, or m, that's the number in front of x, is 4. Remember, we need this to look like a fraction so I know what rise and run is. Whole numbers have a denominator of 1. The y-intercept is where we begin. It's your b value. You're going to include the sign in front of it. That has a y-intercept of -2. First, we're going to begin on the y-axis at -2. On the y-axis at -2 is where we begin. Now we're going to use the slope, 4/1, to find all of the other points on this graph. We always pick to run to the right first. Then, because this is positive, we're going to rise up 4. So from this point, we're going right once and up 4 times. Right once and up 4 times. That takes us off the graph. So we go back to the beginning point, the y-intercept, and instead of going right once and up 4, we're going to go left once and down 4. Left once and down 4. And that takes us off of the graph. So we're just going to connect those 2 dots, and we'll be done with that example because we'll have graphed y equals 4x minus 4, that equation. You can see these are linear equations, but instead of having the graph and writing the equation, we're being given the equation and drawing the graph, or sketching the graph. Looking at the next few examples, I want to know where I'm beginning at, and I want to know where my slope is. Slope is always right next to x. In example 3, the slope is 3/2, and the y-intercept, or where we begin, is a +3. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept 3. Then I use my slope. I know I have to go to the right first. And because this is positive, I'm rising up. So we're going to the right 2 times, and then up 1, 2, 3. That takes us off of the graph. So we're going to go back to the starting point. And instead of going to the right twice and up 3 times, we're going to go left twice and down 3 times. So from this point, we go left twice and down 3. Left twice, down 3. Left twice would take us off the graph, and then down 3. We're off the graph though, so we're not actually going to draw those ordered pairs. Connect the line, and that's it. We're going to first identify the slope. That's whatever's attached to x. So -4/3. And then I need to find the y-intercept, or the b, including the sign in front of it, which is a +1. Okay. I need to start or begin at the b value, which is 1. On the y-axis, find 1. Then we're using our slope to find all of the other ordered pairs. This is rise over run, and we always run to the right first. This is negative, so we're going to rise down 4 times. So from this beginning point, we go right 3 times and down 4 times. To the right 3 times, and we're off of the graph, so we're going to go back to the beginning point, and instead of going right 3, down 4, we're going to go left 3, up 4. So left 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to connect those dots. As you see, I'm out of room going left 3 and up 4. So I don't have any other dots to be able to connect. All right. Okay. Looking at example number 5, I want to know the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is whatever number is in front of x. There's not a number in front of x that I can see, but I know that there's an invisible 1 there. Now that's a negative, so the slope is negative 1. That's a whole number, so it has a denominator of 1 as well. And then the y-intercept is the constant and the sign in front of it. So the y-intercept here is 4. The y-intercept tells us where to begin. It's our b value. So I'm finding 4 on the y-axis. That's where we begin. And I know I always run to the right first. And because this is negative, I'm going to rise going down. So from that point, I need to go right once and down once until I'm out of room. Right once and down once. And keep going right once and down once until you're out of room. Right 1, down 1. Right 1, down 1. Right 1, down 1. I'm out of room, so go back to the starting point, and instead of going right 1, down 1, you're going to go left 1, up 1. Left 1, up 1. Left 1, and up 1 would take us off the graph. Now you can connect all of those dots. So what we're doing is creating the perfect points using the slope and the y-intercept, which is allowing us to draw the line of the linear equation. In this next example, I want to get rid of the negative sign. I want to make that a positive x. I thought I changed that, and apparently I did not. My sincerest apologies. That would mean that the number in front of that x is an invisible 1, and it's positive. Now that's a whole number, so its denominator is 1. Okay. Now the y-intercept is the constant and the sign in front of it, so a positive 2. We're going to begin at the y-intercept because that's the b value. So we're beginning at a y-intercept of 2, find 2 on the y-axis, and that's our starting point, or beginning point, sorry. To find the next ordered pair, you always run to the right. Because this is positive, we're going to rise up. So from this ordered pair, I'm going right once and up once until I run out of room. Right 1, up 1. Right 1, up 1. Right 1 and up 1 would take us off the graph. So now we go back to the beginning, and instead of going right once, up once, we're going to go left once, down once. So left 1, down 1. 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 If I go left again, I'll be off the graph, so I'm just going to connect these ordered pairs, these perfect points. Okay. Looking at example number 7, the slope is whatever number is in front of x, which is 1 over 3. The y-intercept is the constant and whatever sign is in front of it, so a positive 3. The y-intercept is b, So that tells us where to begin at. I need to begin at 3. So on your y-axis, find 3. Now we're going to use the slope to find the rest of the perfect points. We always go to the right, we run to the right first. Because this is positive, we're going to go up. We're going to rise up. So we're going right 3 times and up once. Right 3 times and up once. Right 3 times would take us off the graph, so we're going to go back to the starting point, the beginning point, and instead of going right 3 up 1, we're going to go left 3 down 1 until we're out of room. Left 1, 2, 3 times and down 1 time. Left 1, 2, and then we're off the graph, so that's all the ordered pairs that are perfect on this graph. That's all of our perfect points here. Now I can go ahead and trace the line. And that's the linear equation 1/3 x plus 3. This has a y-intercept of 3 and the slope of 1/3. Looking at our last equation, this is y equal to a constant. So the slope, that's m, that's the number in front of x. There is no x's. Since there are 0 x's, our slope is 0. The constant is our y-intercept, and whatever sign is in front of it. Since there's not a sign in front of it, our y-intercept is 2. So we're going to begin on our y-intercept of 2. The slope is 0, which means we're drawing a horizontal line. So from this point, we're going straight left and right to create a horizontal line there. That is all of the notes we have. Quite a few examples here. Look at page 62, that's your homework. Label it page 62. Exactly like the notes, you need to find the slope. That's the number in front of x. Find the y-intercept. That's the constant. The y-intercept tells you where to begin. So you're starting at -4 on the y-axis. Now, 2 is a whole number. I need a fraction so I can figure out rise over run. Since it's a whole number, the denominator is 1. And we always run to the right first, so I'll be going right once. Since this is positive, I'm going to rise up twice. So from this starting point, we're going right once, up 2 times. Right once, up twice. Right once, up twice. Right 1 time, up twice. Again, right once, and going up twice would take us off the graph. So we go back to the starting point, and instead of going right 1, up 2, we're going to go left once, down 2. Left once and down 2 takes us off of the graph. So we're connecting these ordered pairs. Because you're entering your answers in on Schoology, instead of graphing this, you needed to have some sort of answer choice. So Schoology is going to ask you for the slope and the y-intercept, and also for which ordered pair, A, B, C, or D, did that line pass through. Clearly, we're passing through ordered pair C. So on Schoology, you would hit the C option. If you have any questions about how to complete the homework or about how to graph lines, please ask me. while we're here, look at number 6. That slope is -7/6. That says -7/6, not -7/8. All right, if you have questions, message me on Schoology or drop a comment on this video.